Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
What's up?
There it is.
We're back in the 90s. What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Do you think everybody would understand this now, or we have like three generations that don't know what we're talking about?
I think we're a few years off. I don't know. Maybe there's enough people to listen to us that might be from that era. Who knows?
Maybe you go on YouTube and you can find all those old commercials.
That's right.
But man, was that annoying! But very successful campaign, I have to say.
yeah, we're still losing it.
Right? I mean,
we may be the only ones, but.
I'm not going to mention the brand because
it's a 3-syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 frogs.
So I have a question for you.
What the hell happened?
Have you seen Waldo?
Many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stripe character.
Yeah.
Now, I was referring to the fact that it's just the two of us.
I know.
I think we need to ask.
I thought you're noticing my new glasses.
Oh, Ollie, no, Harry Potter, Waldo.
Harry Potter. Yeah, look at that.
Nice. No, I made the Waldo joke, and I even noticed that. Nice, I like it. Good, and I noticed you're also in the jungle.
I'm in the I'm in the tropical paradise of Southern California. I'm not far from you, but I'm further from you today than I was yesterday. But
I know, and we haven't seen each other yet, but we're working on it.
We'll figure that out.
Welcome back on the West Coast. I thought you were on the West Coast last week too. So
I know.
Now you're closer to the coast than you were.
Closer to the coast than I was last time. Yes.
I'm
not. I was hoping when things progressed to a point where I knew I was going to be outside. I thought, well, it'd be nice to be in the same spot you were last time, but that didn't happen. I thought maybe I'd be in Malaria.
It got windy, man.
I'm way south. I'm kind of tucked into a little corner here. We'll see if it gets too windy.
All right.
You can do most of the talking.
Yeah, I'll be just talking by myself. Well, let's go back to that. This is still Through the TechVine, even if it could be any other show that we have, because it's the two of us. Although I gotta say this,
we can make it whatever we want.
Let me say this: after 1,000+ podcasts, this is the first time that we don't have a guest or a co-host. It's just the two of us. This is a first time, and I've been trying to push these on the radio.
First time is just you and me.
Yes. So I'm gonna cheer to that. We see how we go, and we see if people like it or not. I hope so. We're making it short. How about that?
We'll make it comfortable, whatever that looks like. We're not going to force anything. If it sucks right away, we'll cut it and off we go.
No, okay. So I want to be very fair. So Dianna, we're gonna play a little game that we don't know where she is, and we're probably gonna keep playing this game for a while, and maybe you'll figure it out, or maybe she'll pop back up once in a while and keep us company. Because I gotta say, I already miss her. We did 39 episodes together, and that's a lot. You really get to know each other even when you have this conversation, you know where you're going, you know what the other person is kind of thinking, you make jokes about each other, and we do that all the time, the two of us. But with Dianna, it was like that. So I hope she's coming back soon, wherever she is. Maybe she's in the jungle with you.
The question is, will Dianna become the Matt Damon to what's his name? Jimmy
Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel, yes.
Yeah, well, we could do that. She didn't show up. Okay, I like that. We keep doing this joke. We keep her on the show, on the host list, and then no, she didn't show up.
We love Dianna. Someday she will. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Next week, perhaps. We'll never know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, today we were supposed to have Angela Marafino on the show, and we were going to talk about her upcoming new podcast on ITSP Magazine about the Hacker Book Club, which I'm really excited about. So I can give a little bit of introduction to that, and of course you'll know when that happened, because it's already a club that has been existing for a while. I believe that Chloe Mestagi was one of the founder, if not the founder. You know, she does everything, so I don't know.
She gets everything started. Gets all the things going.
Right? If you don't know who started it,
that's right.
Chloe did it. Chloe did it.
And I know there's a podcast in the hopper with Chloe and Angela to talk about the Hacker Book Club. So
that's going to be
the actual book club, not the podcast. So that's coming. So stay tuned for that on the Change Making with Chloe Mestagi.
Well, see, you knew something I didn't know. So good.
I get sneak peek preview of all this stuff called the editorial calendar.
There is so much going on that you just can't know everything. So it's okay. I don't need to know everything.
It's sometimes better that way.
Yeah, no, it sure is. But Angela will join us again. She's rescheduling, and if I'm not wrong, we have George Pilates. Sorry,
I don't know George Platsis. I know DJ Zeus.
Oh, DJ Zeus is coming on next time.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm gonna make this. At this point, the format is kind of changing, and it's fine. You know, we just want to go on, and we also have a web radio, and again, talking about being behind on a couple of ideas there, but it was to just stream live. Sometimes maybe we'll actually do that on RSA conference in June when we're going to be there, but I do not mind to just improvise. And so if somebody wants to join us and just, chat about something, it doesn't have to be always cybersecurity. Please let us know and DM us, and, maybe we'll make it happen. As long as we are entertaining the audience, we're talking about things that make people think, and, it's all good.
Yeah. And I'm testing the remote mobile option here. I don't have my fancy audio interface, but
it's working good. Yeah. And I see the wind going for people listening to the podcast. There is some palm trees, and again, I don't know where you are, but maybe let's pretend you're in Costa Rica.
I'm in Costa Rica.
Yeah, yes. Good for you.
I'm gonna go diving with the white tip reef sharks later.
With the dolphin. Good for you. So
not many white tip reef sharks if the dolphins are around, I don't think.
If there is a battle between a dolphin and a shark, who wins? Who's the most badass? Dolphin. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Dolphin rocks. I think they're much faster than the shark too. I guess. Yeah,
they have that nose.
They have the nose. Sharks have the teeth, so I don't know. But they need to catch them. That's the point.
You have to catch them. Catch the fin.
All right. So what are we gonna do, Sean? Are we still talking about technology?
I think there's plenty of tech, and I have some ideas to discuss today as well. But I think you brought something that's interesting to run through today.
I found, I like those lists that publication do. And in this case, it's from the Technology Review, the MIT, which I love I'm gladly contributing because their content it's really, really good. Very, very, very good content, not vendor oriented. Although, of course, they get support for paid advertisement and from people like us that wants to read good material. But I love how they have always this academic look to thing. So they made this list, and I think we can quickly go through it. It's 10 breakthrough technology to expect for 2022, which means, they're pretty much already here. So it's not talking about the weird time travel that we do all the time, like 2050, 2080, 2030, which, by the way, the conversation went live yesterday, published yesterday, about the school system for 2050 that we had. It's
30,
really good.
30 years ahead.
Yep. And
peek into the future.
Yep, the Jetson school. That probably would never happen. Just like the Jetson stuff. Still waiting.
So a list of breakthrough technologies this year.
Yeah.
So the first thing that comes to mind is it for the individual? Is it for businesses? And I'm wondering, if we're not using it, are we lame? If it's designed for us individuals and we're not using it, are we behind the times?
Some will affect us directly as users of technology, and the first one could be our entire conversation, because we sure have opinion about this one. And others are a little bit more on the medical, health tech, and some other things. So let me start with the number one, and we'll see how long we spend on that.
How far through 10 we get?
The end of passwords. Whoa!
Nice.
What?
All right, number two.
Did I just say that? The end of password? Yeah.
Number two.
COVID variant tracking. So that's health tech. I'm not sure we're going to play with that kind of things, but the people that are supposed to be doing that will be good. It pretty much is about expanding the capacity to monitor what's going on with variation and variant, and hopefully there's going to be none, like your name today, nada.
Exactly.
Yep. The third one is it's really exciting. This will affect us, especially because it's very relevant due to, unfortunately, the war still happening and the whole energy crisis. So it's a long-lasting grid battery. You know how people say, well, what happened when there is no sun? What happened when there is no wind? Well, people, there's batteries. That's where we put,
You got to store it somewhere, I guess. That's always the question I have, is how do we store this?
Yeah, and the battery technology, as we know from the self-driving cars, is really getting better and better. And I don't know if I can tell the same about my phone, but I guess they're getting there too. And so with this solution, it would expand the opportunity to really use renewable energy, store it, and then if it rains, you can still watch TV. That's cool. You can do that. Woohoo!
You can still stream podcasts.
You can still stream podcasts
from the tropical paradise of Costa Rica.
Are you connected with Starlink or what's
yeah.
Did you call Elon?
I'm like this with
Starlink
with Mr. Musket.
Are you using a Starfish?
I'm using a Starfish as well. That's not. Moving on. What number are we on? 4?
Number 5.
5. Okay.
I'm just gonna go quickly through it, and then maybe we pick the one that we want to talk about. So this is still medical. Artificial intelligence for protein folding. So pretty much to say nearly everything your body does, it does it with proteins, and the way a protein folds determines its activity. But figuring out how the protein structure can take months. Now an artificial intelligence called AlphaFold 2 has solved this long-standing biological puzzle, which could make it possible to quickly design drugs for a wide range of disease. So I guess it's kind of nanotechnology and micro-medicine.
So like we all turn into folding phones?
Yeah, the folding phones don't work in, but I guess protein don't care about that. They're folding. Right. They've been folding for a long time.
I have many questions there. Is it folded outside of the body, inside the body, as it enters, as it leaves?
Well, it expand. I can read more about it.
Well, let's keep going through the list.
Let's keep going, because maybe we can leave some of this for next time. So number 6 is this is interesting. Well, this is important. Sorry, number five, I believe, is malaria vaccine. That's important. I think we've been waiting for that for a long time. So
Yeah, yeah.
anything that is going to resolve,
Getting malaria.
get rid of that. Which, it's funny that they call it is an endemic, but when when it explode the cases in a region, it's not really endemic. It's quite pandemic. I mean, it hurts, it kills a lot of places where they haven't been able to eliminate it. So that's the good news. And then there is this one. It's proof of stake for cryptocurrencies. And the proof of stake pretty much is going to resolve apparently the electricity consumption that, if you were following the news a while back, Bitcoin and all the other Ethereum, they're all like using a lot of energy to create it, because they need to verify, they need to solve this kind of like crypto puzzle in order to get the certification that it's what it's supposed to be, and use the blockchain system. And with this one, apparently they can reduce this usage of 99.95%. So,
Wow.
yeah, pretty much. I think instead of making this process where it's happening right now, it's let me read it a little bit. And just to give you an idea, the Bitcoin network consumed for creating Bitcoin, and even when you mint something in NFT, I mean, you're still using that kind of energy. In 2021 was more than the typical annual energy budget of Finland. So that's that's a lot.
Wow.
And yeah, pretty much it's what the way it's explained, and I'm not an expert in that, but we're going to have a cryptography professor joining us on our show really soon. So maybe this is the question I'm going to ask him. Pretty much the proof of stake offers a way to set up a network without requiring energy. And instead of being secure as resolving this proof of work algorithm, the miners will resolve it directly. I think on their own machine, I believe, instead of having to go back and forth. So don't quote me on that, but I think it's a good news. That's it. Not an expert.
Well, it's breakthrough anyway.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking too, and I was reading this, is like, we point finger to that, but doesn't it cost money to make money? I mean, the paper one and the metal one, and I mean, it's not that one doesn't consume energy. So I'm wondering if we're just creating a problem where it's not there, or try to just make things better, and we already have something that it's working, which I think cryptocurrency is something that we're going to need. And now I have a question for you. We do have a panel related to that coming up, right?
On crypto.
Yep. And some podcasts, because as you can tell, we're not experts.
I am.
You are?
An expert. I'm in everything. Yeah.
Are you?
Just ask me, I'll tell you an answer.
Have you made some NFTs with your photography?
I have.
You have? Not? Well,
I have plenty of photography, but no NFT. I've started to produce some unique material that I intend to convert to NFT material, but I've not gone the last mile, if you will.
I'm going the last mile. I am right there.
Yeah,
I have been
0 to 1 on that.
Yeah, I've been looking into and fishing back and making a nice folder for photography I've done in the past, even some digital art I've done with photography in the past. And yeah, I haven't get to the minting process yet. Yep. I haven't milked it yet. Or minted. Yeah. That's the right way to say it.
Yeah, there's so many questions. I mean, I'm one that I'll just kind of plow through and figure out how things go. But I still have a lot of questions, even if I don't get them answered as I go. I'll have questions. Just like one is, does it need to be a super high res piece of work in order to qualify as it? I've seen stuff that's weird.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
mean, you can turn anything you want. I
Yeah.
mean, as long as you can turn it in digital. I mean, I've seen things like sound effect, bytes of a piece of music, and I'm curious to know. You know, the art market is weird. I like to look at the Antique Roadshow, right? And I think there is a lesson there. Let me take a tangent here. So, if people don't want it, the value is nothing. I mean, look at the crypto, like the Boring Apes. I mean, honestly, I'm not into it. I don't understand $300,000, $600,000 for that stuff. But at a certain point, somebody with a lot of influence start getting it, and all of a sudden everybody wants it. It's kind of like fashion brands, all the kind of stuff. And art is exactly the same thing. Now, the connection with the Antique Roadshow, which is a fun show, is that they've been doing it for a long time. And Antique Roadshow is PBS, I believe. And they've been going around cities for so long. People bring their treasures or non-treasure or trash from their house, and sometimes it's something really good, and they put them on TV, and some critic explain what it is. It could be Indian artifact and jewelry, it can be a painting, it could be like a flag and baseball memorabilia, which is usually the one that costs the more money, funny enough. And so lately what they've been doing, also because of the pandemic, they haven't been going around much. They've been comparing the value of when they filmed the show to what is value today. So they show you the piece from, like, I don't know, 96 or 2000. And then they say, did the value goes up, went up, or went down, or stays the same? And it's incredible how certain things, they got cut in half, or some other, they went up to double. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you put a Picasso, I don't think it's going to get down, or a Da Vinci, or anything like that. That one is probably going to go up. But if it's a piece of furniture from the 1800 or something, it may be fashionable at that time, and it sells like cupcake, and then maybe 15 years
Now you
later,
got my attention.
yeah, cupcakes.
Cupcake.
Yeah. But I wouldn't buy vintage cupcake.
No vintage cupcake. I don't know about an NFT cupcake either. I don't know, that's not going to quite cut it for me.
Yeah. So I think I've seen cupcake digital art, and so maybe you can buy that. But you should ask if it comes with.
It's not going to be satisfying for my tummy unless it comes with a lifetime supply of cupcakes.
Yeah. So my question for you, if we want to talk about this a second, and making that decision to put your stuff out there, is that honestly, you don't know. Somebody is making good money out of that, and it may not last long enough to become the career, but it gives you a pretty big. If you're a starving artist, and a lot of them are, because they do it with a passion.
Well, I think that's the key, and I'm going to jump in because what are we talking about? We're talking about art and artists, and you can apply this to musicians and singers and orchestra members and painters and photographers. Most of them do it because they have a passion for it, right? And if they can make a few bucks from it, great. If they can make a living from it, even better. Dancers, I mean, getting into, and even sports, you can maybe even consider that an art, right? Lots of people want to be part of it. I want to be a rock star. I have a guitar and drum sets and I don't know, a bunch of musical equipment, but I'm not a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'd love to be. I chose a different path that pays the bills.
but when you play, either or well enough, you enjoy it. You do it for the passion, right?
Exactly. exactly. So I guess my point of all that is if there's a way to create something that is s- even more scalable from a distribution perspective, that, I think that's pretty cool. And if somebody can make a couple bucks, great. I mean, when I take that last step to mint something NFT that I've created, I'm not banking on it to retire. That's not my goal. It's because I enjoyed capturing what I captured. I enjoyed producing it in even more unique way, and perhaps even I'll enjoy the process of minting it and then seeing where it goes. Um, so I think long term, I don't know. I didn't actually get to read the post, but there was a post on LinkedIn where somebody said NFTs are dying a slow death already, and I'm like,
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know that that's true, but
Boo.
what's going on there? But it's art, right? I think people will continue to create art. I saw it was a little clip, and when I was in a cab, there was a little clip of some morning show, and the morning show had two people standing in a little tent with a drill, and on top of the drill was a piece of wood, and they just squirted different paint things on top of the on top of the wood. Then they turned the drill. Can't see my hand. Turned the drill on to make the wood spin, and that created this design on this piece of wood that
Mm.
one looked cool from my perspective, the other one didn't. It looked like just a big blob,
Mhm.
but it was acrylic and shiny, and it was unique. I mean, that's art, right? If I did that, nobody's probably going to buy it. These two people did that because they're celebrities on a TV show. They might actually sell it. Right?
There is, again, you go back to, there is a lot of things that influence the art of something. Now, there is some that I believe it's unquestionable, and I may be some older or maybe European about that, maybe Florentine about it. So I don't think you can ever question a Botticelli or a Da Vinci or a Michelangelo or Raffaello or many other from other countries, because at the point it's stable and it's contextual to what the period in time was, what breakthrough perspective and the use of paint and the beauty of it. And you have to contextualize art too, in my opinion. But the NFT and the modern art in this way is playing on many different variables, and that's why it could fluctuate. Like I think the idea is, don't maybe don't invest too much money, because if you don't have it, because you may lose it. I did, as quick as it goes up. It hasn't been going up for 300, 500 years. That's what I'm saying. It may come down, but I don't think it's going to disappear. I think it's going to maybe level up eventually, kind of like a swing that goes up and down. And I'm being Italian with my hands right now, but then you get on a flat and then maybe start growing. Because I love that the artists can protect their job with this. And I think that's the big thing, because in the
That's a
past,
cool attribute. Yeah.
that alone I think is very, very, very important. And yeah, but
Yeah.
that is our NFTs
What I haven't explored
conversation.
enough yet is, does the artist hold a share in that work? Can they hold a share?
You can, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're
If you're on
where
OpenSea, that's
if I sell a physical painting and somebody buys it and moves to a different country and then it burns, that painting, that physical painting's gone. But there
no.
may be a similar scenario in NFT world, but my point is, I transfer the ownership of that painting over. But in NFT world, I guess you can
You can,
hold a
and
share
it's
and
actually
ride that
some,
wave of value.
when I'm gonna push the button of mint something, because I got that close. I have a few things. I got that close to push the button, but as you know, the gas for minting, it can get really expensive sometimes. So I was like, am I gonna spend $140 to mint this thing? Then maybe it's not, it's not even worth like
Yeah,
$10.
you got to be passionate about the hobby.
True,
I
but
mean,
I know that if I
I look
check,
at it.
but dude, you check the day after, it may be $30,
No, I
$15.
know.
So
No, I know. And
you
well,
don't
there's
play
the
it.
value of the price of the thing, and then there's the value of the currency
Hmm.
that you have to play
Yeah,
as
but
well.
the
So,
thing that is cool is this. So OpenSeas and then maybe others, I don't know, but I was looking into that one. First of all, you can mint it, but then the buyer pays the price of the minting. That's cool. So you don't
yeah,
actually, it doesn't really officially get minted. I don't know which is the triggers until it gets sold the first time.
yeah. No free rides. Got to pay for the gas.
Exactly. Pay for the gas too. The other thing is that I believe you can put your royalty on it. So if you want to say, I'm going to sell it cheaper, maybe, but I'm going to sell it that I retain 10%. So if that thing take off and it start growing in value every time that it's sold, you make 10% of it. And if it gets into the thousand because it's such a cool piece, then you're doing better than nothing. So, but if you're very jealous about your art, keep it.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
that happens to any artist. You give it away, you make money,
yeah,
you make
yeah.
more.
I think when you find something that you can appreciate and like, and you and recognize its value, and somebody invested their time and effort. I mean, yeah, I bought a photo of the Twin Towers. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
taken.
that's a cool story. You should tell that
Yeah,
story. I love it.
yeah. So yeah, I was came across the image, and I thought this is a cool image. It looked great on the wall. Um, I don't know where it's from. So, short story is I tracked it down, and it was taken maybe 2 months before uh, they went away, and it's a beautiful shot from like Statue of Liberty perspective. I thought I want this shot in a resolution that I can actually print it and stick it in giant form on my wall, and I could probably scour the internet and find something that is decent. I might even be able to find this one, but it's going to be not the right one, or accessing and using it is probably not the best thing. So anyway, long story short is I tracked it down, found the official website for the guy that took the shot. I sent an email through the website saying I'd love to purchase this picture from you, and his daughter replied and
Yeah,
said, "I'm sorry
that's
to
the part
say
I love. Yeah.
my father has passed. Um, I'm happy to share this image with you." And she gave me the price. I paid the price. She sent it over. It's a digital format, of course, nice, beautiful, high res. And she was appreciative that I appreciated her dad's work, her father's work, and that I was willing to pay a few bucks for it. And I feel great having that piece of art now too. So I've yet to blow it up and print it out and frame it yet, but I'm looking forward to that. But I guess my point is, he took that photo. It's part of a big, huge collection that he has. Who knows if he sold it before? He sold at least one copy to me.
Hmm.
And God bless him for taking that shot, and to his daughter for sharing it with me as well.
What I really love about that is that you actually went all the way to do some research to, you really love it so much that it was worth your time to research it, to contact this person, and pay some, some money for it. I think that if he was alive, either if it was well, maybe if he was already a famous photographer, then it would have just been another one. But if somebody was just passionate about it, it wasn't making a living out of it. I mean, what an amazing appreciation of his job that is. So
Yeah, yeah,
well,
it was pretty cool. And yeah, so the other thing I was going to say on this topic is you talk about the gas, and I'm just wondering. I mean, a lot of us who do stuff like this, we view them as hobbies, right? And I have countless hobbies, and I invest silly amounts of money in many of them, and then stop them and have a bunch of stuff lying around that I never use anymore. Drums and guitars and diving, and I can go on and on and on and on.
Mhm.
But I guess my point is a hobby that produces art. I mean, I've paid quite a bit of money on cameras and lenses and equipment and software to manage it all and store it all, and I mean, it's part of the investment to do the work, to to be part of the trade of creating art. So I'm just wondering, my question of all of this, I'm rambling on, is the gas part of that? Is the minting process just
It's an
part of that?
excellent point. I like
Yeah.
how you went from that angle, and I believe it is. I mean, I think that I heard many stories of people that start a hobby and they get the best tool possible. Like, but if you start to play guitar, don't go get a fucking Les Paul. Just start with something that maybe you like it, maybe you don't, and eventually you can get your way up there. And that goes for a lot of things. Like you can make great photos and see if you really like the trade with a decent camera, especially now with digital. And think about before the digital, when you had to buy the film, develop the film, not knowing what was in that. Well, did you take the right shot? You couldn't really check it and say, oh, you know what, let me take 50 of these from different angle and then I'll keep one. I mean, that was much more of an art at that time, and it was much more an investment as well, because you had to
Yeah.
buy a few things. So
Yeah.
now it
Well,
comes
funny.
cheaper, but I think that if you want to be sure that you retain that online, the value of it, and you want to give it a chance to sell it, I think you're right. It's the price of the art. I agree with you.
And it's interesting you mentioned the difference between film and digital. Because early days I had the same thought. It's screw it, just take as many shots as I can and see if any are good. Now, I still take a ton, but I find as I do more that I spend much more time preparing for the shot that I want.
Because it's more fun.
It's more fun.
It's
The right
more
angle, the right
organic,
perspective, the right
right?
lens, the right feeling, the right lighting. Now, granted, I may take a bunch of stuff that doesn't have all those things lined up because I just like shooting anyway. But the ones where I really find all those things connected together in the right way, I feel phenomenal. It's very fulfilling to get that shot. And not everybody may like the shot that I took, but I felt great taking it, and I appreciate it. It's funny you mentioned Les Paul. For somebody who doesn't play guitar, buying that as your first guitar. This guy, as I knocked my mic over, this guy did that.
Oh my God, you did that?
Have the Black Beauty. Why not?
Holy shit, that's the commitment. I was making a joke. I didn't remember you did that.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Now our
Wow.
good common friend Sean Coons helped me
Oh yeah.
helped me
Well,
learn a bit.
he was pretty good at it. I mean, he still
He's
is.
good.
I want to shout out to him. He's writing books now. I think he
He's
just
an author.
published.
Writing,
I think
that's a new one just recently.
I tell you what, we should bring him on the show.
We should have him on. Yeah.
Damn it, I haven't seen the dude in 10 years. Yeah.
Talk about a good guy.
And always great conversation. You have no idea how many hours I've spent outside of the coffee shop.
So positive and smiling and
Yeah.
good stories and just good
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah, I'd love to have him on. Love to see him again too.
I'll make a note for that. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson. Don't be Sean. Don't buy the Les Paul if you're just starting the guitar. Or maybe that's like, I made a big commitment.
I did make a big commitment.
Now I gotta stick with it.
I love that guitar.
Yeah.
And it's always there.
You're not losing money on that.
I'm not losing money on that.
You're not losing money on that. No. That's for sure. That's for sure.
It's a piece of art in itself.
Yeah. See, we found the topic that we were going to talk a
Look at
lot
that.
about. Do you want to go on some more of those news, or you know what?
I think let's save them for a rainy day.
Do you want to make a comment on the password one though? I'd be interested to know your opinion on
You want
that.
my password?
I want your password. Are you which
You
one?
can have it because
Which one
evidently
you
it's
use lately?
not going to be useful anymore.
Black Les Paul? Is that what it is? One,
It
two,
is
three,
Black
four,
Let's
five. No, tell me how does it work when you don't use password anymore? You been following that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's. I know enough to be dangerous, and I don't want to sound like a fool. I mean,
No, I
there's
don't want to
still a
go.
code or a password, or there's still something. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean we've been talking about
outside
this for.
hands and brain, and maybe a password manager
Well, you're
shoving it
pretty
into
much
it.
you're using according to this, apart from all the gizmos, the YubiKey that you can put in there, and all of that is the two-factor authentication is the fact that instead of putting a password, you're using your device or biometric, or they send you an email to confirm that it's you, and it's already happening. I mean, there is a lot of services online that I don't even put the password
Yeah,
anymore,
the
even if I
magic
do have.
password, right? Use the magic password is a button in an email.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
guess that's my point, though, is that there's a code, there's a password behind there.
exactly.
I'm just not typing it in or copying it from
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
my password manager.
but does it allow you? This is where I want to go. Is it gonna make the infamous never-ending battle about the user actually using the tools that we have to be more secure, or is it still going to be that original password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8? I mean, are we making things easier and safer? With this, that's my point.
The answer to say easier is yes, I think, of course. Safer. I'm afraid to get bashed online for saying maybe yes. Somebody will call me out and point out all the reasons. Well, no, emails can be intercepted and all this other crap. Um, I think it's a question of, yeah, if there's an alternative route to get that code in that that takes away the everybody using the same one or an easy to crack one. I think just by virtue, it's safer, right? Broadly safer. Now there may be specific cases where it's not as safe. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's being targeted, and they know, and the bad actor knows the channels through which those codes and sometimes OTPs and all that stuff come through. I mean,
Yeah, but you know what? I think, and I'm gonna make a final point here on my perspective on putting myself in the user, the everyday user person. So it's kind of like the entire period. I think was like what 2 years ago that there was all the SIM exploit where people were like, yeah, don't use text messages, and I thought it was so counter as a 2FA, two-factor authentication. I thought it was so going against everything that we were trying to do to have people embrace security, because it's like, yeah, everything can be broken in terms of hacked, and cyber criminal are going to find their way. I mean, they can put a gun at your head and force you to tell the password unless you don't know it, because it's so complicated that you don't know it, you're gonna give it up. And this whole thing, it was counter. I don't know. For me, it wasn't counterintuitive for
yeah.
all the journalists advertising this thing and be like, well, then if that's not secure either, screw it. I'm just gonna use my regular password. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Now there's so much in play here, and I mean it. You used the gun example. Lovely image there. But
it's all right.
I mean that's a one-on-one exchange, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. So the question is, yeah, that's always going to be the case no matter what you use. The question for me is just the scale of how broad can you apply better security and how broad can a weakness be exploited if it's not developed in the right way. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about scale, right?
Yeah.
How many and how much can the cyber criminals get?
But at the end of the day, this is, to me, it could be the end of the password again. Not really. There's still some kind of a password, as you said, in the in the back end to know that you is you. Either, even your face is your password, but at least it's a forced 2FA, because you neither have to use the second factor, either the biometric or your email or the text message or a notification on your phone. At least you have two verification system in place. Is it 100%? Is it no? But
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say. I mean, there's context and risk to take into account, right? If I'm accessing my Medium account or Slack may be an interesting one, but let's say it's a Medium account. Fine, give me the magic password and email.
Mm-hmm.
Slack, it does it fine. You can have a second factor on that to kind of back up. But when you start getting into banking transactions or financial transactions or legal agreements through online systems like a DocuSign or something, let's say, I'd want stepped authentication where the context and the risk drive. Well, how many times do you want me to prove I am who I am and I'm not being held captive with a gun, right?
Yeah. Although if you're captured with a gun, that's probably
4 or 5.
You have other problems there.
Yeah.
You have more important problem to take care of.
That's right. Yeah. Probably not worried about my Slack second factor at that point.
Yep. Well, I wanted to touch on that because I still feel I'm.
I know.
I'm a little bit of a man.
Yeah.
I still feel we're on a mission on talking a little bit about this stuff. Why not? Yeah. But I enjoy. We talked about art, NFTs, playing music, antiques, and we went through all those news. And I think there are some that are worth it to dive deeper into it. So inspiration for some podcasts, maybe on redefining society or security, cybersecurity, or
next month on the calendar I have identity and authentication as the theme. So I mean, this certainly has to be
there you go
part of something we do next month. So
well, that's exciting. Is it going to be a panel or?
I have 2 panels planned, and if this turns to be a hot topic, I'm happy to have a passwordless panel as well.
A passwordless panel? Meaning the panelists don't need a password to get on the panel?
No password to get on. Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to be a very hot topic. It's been since the time that I was that I started joining this crazy train of cybersecurity. So, we're still talking about the same stuff, more or less, right?
Yes, we are. And we still miss Dianna.
And we don't know where she is. And have you seen Dianna?
She's on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
She says she's joining us next time.
All right. I'll hang on. Wait patiently.
See.
I won't hold my breath next week for that.
We'll see. Well, you guys and girls and
dogs
all
and
the
cats.
audience, dogs and cats. Yeah, that's the thing. Without Dianna, we didn't talk about dogs.
I know. No dogs.
Damn it. No dogs pushing buttons, anything.
I have no little pet anymore to screen bomb.
Yeah, I know. You can come and pick up one of mine.
All right, I'll borrow. Which one?
Borrow one of mine. Yeah, I will go with Touchy. Yeah, they're both there sleeping. So I want to thank everybody. This is a new experiment. I enjoy because I actually seen you.
Somehow we survived, just the 2 of us.
I haven't seen you at all lately. So usually we just join for a podcast and we don't get to talk much. So it was actually kind of nice. I hope the audience enjoyed it as well, listening to us blabbing. And maybe next time there is Dianna, just stay tuned. Come back. Yeah. Come back because you want to know if she's on or not. I think she is, but who knows? And there'll be a guest as well. So
whatever happens, we know for sure Thursday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. We'll be on again.
Either from Costa Rica or the moon
Rica,
or
the moon.
wherever.
Yes, underwater, swimming with dolphins, chasing sharks. Who knows?
As long as we have an internet access, we will be here.
We'll mint that episode NFT.
Oh yeah, and then we'll let you know when we have our art.
Yeah.
And you may say, you know what, you did the right thing not minting this thing. Or if you like it, it may be cheap enough that you want to have you want to have a Sean Martin hanging on your wall. Oh,
Okay.
I'll buy one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There
All right.
All right, everybody.
Here we go.
See you all next week. Thanks for joining us today, and through the TechVine, good news tech.
Yep.
All the time.
And follow us on all the other podcasts because there is some really cool
Lots of good stuff
conversation coming up.
and more channels coming too.
Play the music.
All right.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.